Jim's ready down at Longleat for us to visit him after this. So if by the time we get there in the next hour or two, we can come up with a kind of shopping list that we can go around and he can show us what he's got. And what I want to come away with today is just a rough idea of the per square metre cost of it, so that I can start to work out whether, if it's viable or not.
We work on a square metre.
Yeah,
it's normally about a single story, probably between 15 to 2,000 a square metre.
And that's assuming these kind of materials we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's groundworks included, but just regular groundworks.
Yeah.
Which, if everything goes well and we do it ourselves, we could potentially make a bit of a saving on. And of course, labour as well, which if we do it the way we're talking about, could be significantly lower. So these should be upper end numbers.
Yeah.
So let's assume it's roundwood.
Okay.
And in the whatever you want, that 8-inch diameter. How many? What's the quantity surveying here, roughly speaking?
Okay. So are we going with the?
Let's assume the full,
12 by 5.
full fat one.
Okay, the full fat. Yeah, I like that. So shall we just start with posts?
Yeah.
So shall we say we probably need about 8 of them?
And these would be 8-inch diameter poles.
Yeah.
So 8.
And they probably need to be about 3 metres long, somewhere between 2.5 and 3 metres. You can always cut a bit off, add in a bit, it's hard work.
Jumping between imperial and metric here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, it's fine. I do it all the time myself, to be honest. So
we're basically building a box, aren't we?
Yeah.
The things at the edge are going to be the posts, right?
That's right.
So there'll be 8 of these, so 4 on each side.
Yes.
Yeah? So they're the posts.
Yeah.
It says posts.
There. We need to be able to connect all of them across with a plate. And again, we'll probably have to make it in...
Hang on, there's a good drawing here.
Oh, yeah.
That makes all this clear, so just to make sure I know what we're talking about. Here we go.
Yeah. So the plate is like a horizontal member, which is what the roof will be sitting on. Yeah, there will be the bits that run across the top here.
So, okay, how many of them?
So we'll probably need 4 of them,
I
suspect.
Also in an 8-inch round?
Yeah, the same. And we would have to join them together because it'd be a bit of a struggle probably trying to get 12-metre long poles from there all the way here and up your hill and then on. So we'll probably have to make them in 2 poles and then join them together.
I mean 8 of them or 4 of them?
So it's just 4 of them.
Times 6 metres each?
Yeah. And then we'll have a look at roof rafters, which we were talking about maybe flattening them off.
Yeah. Also 8-inch?
Yeah, we can do it all at 8.
Yeah.
You're talking about 5 metres, so you probably want them a little bit longer, say 5.5 metres long.
Do they have to be continuous lengths, or can you?
No, they definitely have to be continuous length. We couldn't join them.
How many of those?
If we're I think we were going to work on 600 centres roughly. I mean, thereabouts.
So that's the distance between the poles, the rafters, so about that distance.
Yeah. So over 12 metres, you've got like 10 in 6 metres, so it'll be another 10 plus 1, so it's about 21, 22 of them.
I'll say 22. But presumably in terms of the spec or quality of it, these ones are more important than those ones at the top, are they? Or?
Oh, well, the roof rafters are definitely quite important, so we don't really want ones that are at the top of the tree, got lots of little intersections, like little branches that have come out of them, and they're like, it's weak, basically.
Posts, wall plates, roof rafters.
Yeah, probably some braces as well, sort of just in here somewhere, just at the top. If you dealt with that movement, I don't know, chuck about 20 of them in. 6-inch.
6-inch poles.
Yeah.
As they're braces, does that mean they don't have to be round? They could be cleft?
They could be. They could be.
So
absolutely.
I'll put poles, but I'll put cleft here as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And they're normally about
length?
1.5 metres.
Oh, okay. That's quite easy to find. Yeah.
And it's nice to try and find some interesting ones that have got a bend in them as well.
So that's the kind of thing when we're going to have a look at their firewood, we could just say, just give us a tipper truck load of them, and we'll sort it out. What we don't use, we can burn or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then if you want it half the size, you just do that bit.
Yeah.
And then if you want the porch thing, it's just that bit.
Yeah, exactly that.
Right. We'll take this and show it to Jim and see how good he is at drawing.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Remember Dylan?
Right. Okay.
So what we have is 4 pieces of paper as a result. Do you want to see what we're going to be submitting to planning?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you come up with. Lovely. That's my kind of drawing.
So This is a shopping list, basically.
So posts, I assume they're sort of the uprights. You want 8-inch poles.
So we're going to need 8 of them, 4 on each side. And the wall plates, we don't need two 12-metre lengths. We can have 4 6 ones. So that's item 2. And then the roof rafters are these things. Here we put poles, but they could be cleft as well. So that's the shopping list, basically.
Have you looked at whether these are softwood or hardwood?
Not really. Our structural engineers would like us to use 8-inch, like where it crosses normally.
So the forest structure is made for big, straight, slow growing, nice sawn timber that goes on a big saw bench. Whereas we're going back to sort of traditional building methods, and the wooden structures aren't there. So if we're to go out and look for these little poles, then we probably haven't got the species choice. We'll probably have to go to some knobbly bobbly old larch in the corner, or some nice slender Douglas fir poles.
Yeah.
Roughly speaking, how many trees are we talking about here?
Well, what you've got to do is you've got to do some totals, haven't you? So we've got 4 times 6 metres, and then 8-inch poles. You've got 22.
Yeah.
So they're going to be round as well.
Well, they could be semi-round, right?
Yeah, we'll saw the top of them. So
Just put a flat edge on them.
Yeah.
They've got 199 metres in length.
Okay.
And if we're going to find...
That's everything, is it? So it's a total of 200
That's the
linear,
total linear.
200 metres.
and if you're looking to be in 6 metre lengths, you might be lucky to get 2 out of 1.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 16 trees potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a good start.
We can go to 16 individual places and get 1 tree, and we could go to one area and get 16 trees that are all identical, because that's how they've been growing. And so it really depends on time travelling and how awkward we want to be spending it in harvesting.
And of course, for your cost, you've got to consider the extraction cost. So having 16 in one place is you only do it once.
Every
Rather
time you move the tractor, it's going to cost some money. We've got to drive down the road, got to upset the school run. One of the interesting things I did think, knowing the previous occupant of the property, Mr. Trollope, there are some larch in the nursery where he would have worked.
I'm into the stories. That would be brilliant. If we
So,
could.
If you're really romantic, we can work hard and make wobbly wood straight. If you want to lose a bit of the romance, we can go to the conifer plantation.
Yeah. But the other thing, of course, is the braces could be cleft, right? So it doesn't all have to be the same.
Yeah.
So we could have a bit of that story. Like, for example, we could use a few of Victor Trollope's trees for the stuff we could cleave or something. I don't know.
Well, equally, we can go to the forest where the redwoods are, which was something I know Victor Trollope was very keen on, and we've got their redwood in your front garden too. But they are really large diameter. They're planted in the 50s, and they're really quite big now.
Well, that sounds like you get a lot of braces out of them.
Yeah, doing milling job.
Okay.
So
Right.
yes, the shop has one of everything on the counter.
And of course, in the end, then we got to cost it up as well. But
Well, I love the list and I love the drawings, and I think these will make 2 pieces of fine art for this room that you're building. And I think that you should scan these in as soon as possible.
yeah,
Absolutely.
And we can price it up as well. So your uprights aren't even weighing a ton.
oh, this is great.
4 times 6 metres.
The other thing we discussed when we met last time by the cottage was seeing what's lying around here, what we can make use of, the stuff that would otherwise go to firewood if there's anything, maybe for these
Yeah.
places.
So the problem is, if you're going for a firewood heap, you've got to remember the tree was felled for a reason.
All right. So it's a provenance question.
Yeah. So yes, you can find a benny bit of firewood, but was the tree diseased? Was it healthy?
Okay.
Was it structurally sound? Is it the right species? That sort of thing. And we've got it in hornbeam. But I don't know whether that would be something you'd want to build with.
Have you ever built with hornbeam?
No.
Terrifying the planners here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Your roof rafters is the big. Is quite
big one, yeah.
Yeah, that's almost weighing 3 ton.
Yeah. Wet.
2.86 cubic metres of wood. Yeah, you put it in at the top price, it's going to be like £450 worth of materials.
For which bit?
All of it.
450 quid, the lot.
Yeah, it's some VAT.
All right. I feel I should bargain you down.
I'm going to bug you up because we've got a felling cost on top of this, yeah?
So that's just for the standing tree, right?
Yeah, so I could sell you that standing. If you want
yeah.
to go and arrange someone to cut them, that'd be lovely.
Right.
So we've got to find 16 trees.
And put them to roadside.
Put them to roadside.
Yeah.
It's going to be a day's felling, isn't it?
You want to look at some trees?
Yes, definitely.
Let's go. Was this the cladding you were telling us about?
This cladding appears on a lot of buildings locally around here. So we sort of now sort of adopted this as the default cladding.
This feels a bit sort of industrial for a home. Can you adapt that, or?
There's many styles. I mean, obviously this is upright. You can have them horizontal. You can have them like waney, small piece you could put behind so you get a shadow gap. It's a personal preference, I think.
It's also a bit of second guessing the planners, isn't it?
It is. They would understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's work about what what we're going to stick it on.
Let's go.
Let's look at some trees.
This is a lovely Douglas car.
How do we get there? Do you have to drive or?
Four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive. Okay.
It was larch, did you think?
It was larch, but now it's a mixture of spruces, and we got some tulip tree. We got some interesting things like liquid amber. And the idea is to have a mixture of trees going forward. We got some oak. We got some cherry. This mixture is going to give you the resilience to future plant health issues that we might have in Britain. Anyway, Robert, that's enough of me rambling. Here is some wood.
I'm just listening to you and Dylan now. Yeah.
I even brought a tape measure with us.
So well, that one, and that one.
So we can see what that specification looks like. So you're going for 20 centimetres. So this one could be one of your trees.
Yeah.
You like the look of that, Dylan?
I do. Do you?
It looks really straight.
Yeah.
So it's a premium piece of tree. I mean, how much should we be selling that one for? It's a really difficult thing to make. Or is that our future tree for the next 100 years? So we need to look at the spacing here and what we could utilise. So this tree here, the top of this tree is poor because it's been shaded out. But again, you know, he's only going to be 13 centimetres. So maybe this is one of your 5-inch pieces.
One of the braces. Yeah. But this is the kind of thing that you would, if you were thinning this, that's what that would.
If I was thinning it, you need to get me and my machines here with your bounty.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking for that 20 centimetre tree. So that one's too small.
There's all sorts of different diameters, aren't there?
Yeah.
So that one there is almost a 20 centimetre. I don't know what your tolerance is.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But then there's another one just over here. So that's 22, 23 centimetre tree.
It's an average to 20, so yeah.
So an average to 20. So 18s and 22s as well. So we could select something like this from this type of environment.
But they look quite straight. You know, it doesn't look like there's that much tape on them. You know, compared to.
No, and there's not much movement. They're quite straight, aren't they?
These are Douglas fir.
So that's the silver birch there, right?
That is, yes.
Other than that, it's all everything we're looking at. Is
There's, well, I'm showing you the Douglas fir options. So yes, there's a lot of Douglas fir just in this piece of woodland. There is some Norway spruce nearby, and there's some grand fir as well, which is probably not too suitable. It's quite a quick growing thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the natural tannins in the heartwood that this would have.
If it's delivered in lengths of this, what's the first thing that we need to do to?
Well,
you don't have the bark, right?
No, we need to get rid of the bark. Yeah.
How do you do that?
So we use draw knives. So all debarking spades. You use that to scrape off the bark, basically.
I have one that fits on the end of a chainsaw,
Oh yeah.
which you might like to borrow.
Yeah, it's something quite nice when there's a bunch of you like debarking together. You know, you can have a little chit chat as well.
I've done that.
Yeah.
If you get on it quick, it comes off easy.
Well, yeah, definitely.
If you leave it a couple of months, then
yeah, it's hard to come off.
Yeah.
So actually, we would want to do that as soon as you delivered it. Really. It's
Yeah, or you
easiest.
could do it here and have the mess here.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Could we do that? Or
Well, I can't see a reason why that couldn't happen in the forest.
yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, so these are the future, all these lovely naturally regenerated trees. You've got heather coming up, you've got birches, you've got hollies, Norway spruce, beech. There's an oak tree back over there. We've got a really good Douglas and a lovely species mixture.
There's some nice saw logs in here.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the ones I want to take out are just a little bit small. That's 15 centimetres, 6 inches, but you're after that size material as well, looking at your cutting spec.
Well, I think when we finalise the actual frame itself, what we're doing, there could be an element that we'll swap some of the diameters.
Just have more of them.
Yeah. So
Well, as long as the structural engineer's happy with it.
exactly, yeah. Because they make nice roof rafters.
That looks like it
Yeah.
could carry a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how much they taper out at 5 metres.
So it takes probably at 5 now. But it's about the wibble wobble, you see.
Yeah, I like that. Got a nice little bit of movement in that as well, isn't there?
You're talking aesthetically.
When that bark comes off, you'll see it more.
Yeah.
By removing this tree here, we've got some more in the waiting room here. These trees will come and fill the gap in the forest.
So then it's a race between that holly and this.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll be managing the rhododendron. They'll be removed. The holly, they'll probably be eaten by deer. But as you can see, by people recreating in the forest, or a tractor driver running, or a tree feller, things can go wrong quite quickly. And this is a 1 in 30 year opportunity to enable and release this back into, to get some succession planting in that continuous cover crop.
But by doing that, it means you don't have to germinate them and bring them onto whips and plant
Absolutely.
them like that. It just happens.
It also means that we can fell this tree. It releases this tree to enable that to come through, and thus locking more carbon. Let's go to another site. So this is like something that we can come and work this area. There's lots, as you can see, we can get our trees relatively easy. That should give you some security in your knowledge that your project can happen relatively local. So, Robert, Dylan, I brought you here because it was Mr. Trollope, the gentleman that was in the property. This was his yard. This is where he would have come in the morning, and the woodland behind us would have looked like a vegetable allotment. And he would be setting out trees and growing them from seed and into these little trees that would then be taken by the thousands each year to plant longleaf forests from 1940 to 1980. But what happened at the last day of the nursery is they obviously had some trees left, and they lined them out on this bank here, and it's now what you see behind us is the woodland. It does need thinning, so we can go and have a little explore, and maybe you might not find all 15 of your trees here, but you might find something you might want to make a centerpiece, or to carry that sort of that romantic element through into the property, that historic element.
Well, there's 3 apple trees in front of me on this. He taught me how to prune them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, keep going. You just say, look, that one there, that one there. He
Yeah.
said, what you want to do is you want to be able to throw your cap up so it goes through without hitting a branch. Presumably he was taught that when people wore caps.
Yeah.
But it's lovely image. Anyway, I've got a lot of affection for him, and that would be great to have some kind of
Absolutely.
narrative connection if we can find a decent tree in here.
Yeah. So just go have a look.
Yeah.
So here we go, we've got some larch just here. It's a rare tree nowadays on this estate, is a larch, but there's some ash here as well. So for example, your 16 trees, if you wanted to work with ash, could be these.
But these aren't diseased ash.
No, these are clean ash.
You worked with ash before?
I haven't.
Or maybe chat with Ben and see what he says.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe one of the last chances to work with ash, to build things
it
out
could
of
be.
ash.
But this is larch. So these are larch trees. These are the only larch trees that are in sight of the property.
So where's Little Poplar Cottage?
There.
So actually, if you fell these trees, you'd be able to see it.
You asked me a question earlier. Can I get you a 20 centimetre diameter piece of larch? And I'd say yes, but it'd be knobbly and bobbly. Is that one?
What do you think about them?
And I found it this morning with some effort.
Yeah, I think we should. It's
though
got the whole story, isn't it?
What about the corner posts?
The corner posts, yeah. Absolutely.
Even though it's just a front-facing corner post.
Yeah. No, it'd be really nice.
Be a little bit more creative, whereas when we looked at the beginning, we looked at the conifers, which we thought were exciting because there are different age classes and all the rest of it there. It's still a bit uniform, but your project can happen there. Your project can happen here.
Or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
But that may make it more expensive to extract from your point of view, right? You'd rather do it if it's easier if it's one location?
Well, here, I would quite like to work here.
Yeah.
I need to do some working here. I need to start some filling, get some different structure going within the woodland. So here is something I need to do, whereas the other bit is just stock. So I think, we've had a look at the woods. I think the conundrum now lays with yourself, and
No, it's over.
I look forward to hearing.
It's over to us now.
Yeah, so 5 tonne down there, 5 to 8 tonne down here, probably
5 to 10 ton, because what do you do in the bottom bits? We need to find a home for that. We can find a home for that within the rest of the business.
We just got to work out how to get it from here to there.
That can happen.
But if we can peel them in the woods here, that's nice as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for finishing this chapter.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?